flowers on stage.
I wasn't really doing that well in the real world either, to be honest. So I was like, fuck it. I might as well just, if I'm going to be miserable or if I'm going to be poor, I might as well do something I like. You know what I mean? And then I was in a band that was doing pretty well, Cosby Sweater for a while. That broke up, but that kind of like got me more where I was working all the time. It's really more feasible than you think. People think that like you're only a successful musician if you're like Lady Gaga famous, you know what I mean? But there's like there's a whole, there's way more middle class musicians than there are rich musicians. You know what I mean? Well, my goal was never to be like, like I play saxophone, so I'm not like trying to get famous or rich or anything. I just wanted to like make a living and not have to like sit in a cubicle anymore because that almost killed me. You know what I mean? Literally.
Do you ever feel like your saxophone is just like become another form of a spreadsheet? Like you ever get
No,
burned out on it?
no, not really. Maybe if I practice more. I'm just, but no, I don't really ever get burned out on music. It's kind of hard to. It's like you can't ever finish it. It's like a game you can't finish. So like I would say no, I don't get burned out on music at all. But it depends. I mean, I get burnt out on like you can get burnt out on gigs, but I don't think just that's not the saxophone's fault.
You don't just get lazy though, like you just don't want to pick anything up.
Sure, but everybody does that. I mean, we're all people, right?
Yeah.
But I had my phase where I was practicing 8 hours a day. I've had I think people go through phases with that. Some people stick with it longer than others, but I definitely had my like 8 hour practice days for a couple months. You know what I mean? In my 20s and even in my 30s a little. I really got back into shedding like all day during COVID too because there's nothing else.
Are you
It
like a
was like a
culty
nice
music
relief.
fan of anyone?
Um, no, not really. I mean, it's kind of hard to be that way when you're a musician. I feel like. Do you know any musician? Like, there's not that many musicians that are like have a favorite band. I feel like, and I just think that like if you're a real musician, you have to study so much different stuff that it's kind of hard to like become like that engrossed in one band. You know what I mean by that? Like,
Hmm.
you're kind of failing yourself as a musician if you do that. Like shredding jam shit is like one of those things where it's like you have to like want to go out of your way to go see it. It can't like be sprung on you like if you go to a bar and there's live music and there's just some guy taking a 20-minute guitar like you know what I mean. It has to be like an intentional thing where you're seeking it out. If it sneaks up on you, it's probably the worst kind of music because it's like guys trying to like just get off and they think you should care about them but you don't, but they're like mad at you so it makes them more annoying as they play. And then that's why I have to, you know what I mean, when you go to like a free bar where they just like have live music on a Sunday and like half the fucking bar leaves because some guy's just jerking off the whole time, you know what I mean?
So take me back to your formations of being a cult leader. I know you got Nick Gerlach's cult. So does that
Oh yeah,
stem
yeah.
from you having this cult leader part of your soul? So you just called your group
Well,
that?
it was just kind of a joke that started on the pod where I was like talking about how every band's kind it's sort of going back with like when you were talking about with bands, people are being obsessed with bands. Like it's bands are all like turning into little cults now as their marketing thing. They have like a membership, and so I just kind of like jokingly made the website, and then I just called my band the Cultet. But I haven't really been to. It's mostly just the band now. I took the website down for a little bit. I might redo it, but yeah, it's just kind of like a thing where like the music industry is so fragmented that like and like the every like Disco Biscuits has their cult, and Humphreys McGee, like Disco Biscuits is like definitely a cult. Like they have like 3,000 fans that go anywhere in the country that they like schedule their PTO around Disco Biscuits. You know what I mean? Which is cool. I mean, it's a good way to make a living. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just started as a joke, and then I just kept it going.
What are your main tenets?
Well, I have like, I don't know, man, because I'm not very religious. I don't think I would actually be a very good cult leader because I don't care that much about being liked, and I don't really need that much attention. I think that, and I don't really have any real convictions or thoughts or anything. So I don't think I'd be a good cult leader. I'd be like a good like cult leader's assistant maybe or something because I the benefits are pretty cool, like the money. So I like that part of it. But I don't think I'd be the best cult leader because I don't have any real, like I said, I don't have any real convictions to base it on.
Well, that's a huge flex. Like not needing attention and having no major
I mean,
convictions. Like how do you make your brain chill?
I think I crave a normal amount of attention, is what I'm saying. Like a cult leader is like a narcissist, right?
Okay. Oh,
So
and you're
I
not a
don't.
narcissist?
No, I'm definitely not a narcissist. I'm more of a sociopath.
Okay.
No, you think I'm a narcissist? I don't think I come
Oh, I
off
know
as a
I don't know
narcissist
you.
at all.
I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
getting to
yeah.
know you here. So tell me about your
Uh,
sociopathy.
well, I just think I'm not the most empathetic guy in the world. You know what I mean? I'm kind of blunt. Like I think I've just kind of been pretty much like this since I was like a little kid. My mom even says I've been pretty chill my whole life, you know?
Damn.
Yeah, but you know, it has its like upsides and downsides. It makes you get bad grades. It makes you, you know what I mean? Like being type A, like anxiety can be a power. I was like really bad at school just because I like wouldn't care. You know, I mean, I'm just like not,
Yeah.
I wasn't organized
Were
and
you super funny
it's
in class?
not really. I was kind of quiet,
So you
but
just
maybe, I
sucked,
mean,
huh?
yeah, I was kind of just a nerd. No, I was funny, but I wasn't like class clown. You know, I wasn't like going out of my way to be like the kid, like, I wouldn't interrupt anything.
You
Let's
were
put it
the
that way.
assistant to the class clown, like the cult
Yeah,
leader.
maybe. Like, yeah, people liked me and stuff like that. But I was just like kind of, I don't know, just
Where'd you grow up?
Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Fort Wayne, Indiana, Midwestern
It's
boy.
Yeah. So I grew up in Fort Wayne, which is like in the northeast corner of Indiana, right on the Ohio border. It's like a bigger city than people realize. It's like 300,000 people. Very insular town though. It's not like a suburb of anything. So it's like a good place to grow up, but it's not a good place to live if you like are a single guy in your 20s. You know what I mean? But it's a good
Yeah,
place to
so
be
when
like
did you move
adult.
out here?
Well, then I moved to Indy for a long time. I went to college in Indianapolis, and then I moved here in like 2016, the summer, so like 9 years ago, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, I moved here after Cosby Sweater broke up. That was the electronic band I had, and then I just been doing that. I mean, there was COVID in there too, which kind of fucked some shit up. So it feels like 6 years.
I'd love to dive into the type B brain. Like, let's say
Yeah,
I would assume you eat mushrooms or things of that nature in your life.
I have. It's not like
Let's say like years ago, whatever, you're having this sincere mushroom trip, like thinking about
uh-huh.
where you're headed. But like
Mm.
it
I don't
seemed
really
it
think
seemed like
about that when I'm
earlier
on
you were
mushrooms.
kind of saying, yeah, you don't that's not a
No,
thought
no, no, no.
process.
I'm more like
Or
goof off on mushrooms and have a good time. And like
so how
sometimes I'll get
do you
shit.
ever have those like moments where you're looking in the mirror? Or is that just
Oh
something
yeah,
that's like silly?
yeah. That's more like 3 in the morning. Oh
Th-
shit. You know, I'm a human being. Everybody has like their moments, but
Like, do you
you
tell
know,
yourself when you're being self-critical to like not give a
no,
fuck
because
or to give a fuck more?
well, it like depends on what you're being self-critical about. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like there's like good self-critical and there's bad. So like if it's something you can't control, that's one thing. You know, if you're being like lazy, that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be like a power. It's got to be like something you can utilize, but you got to realize sometimes that like sometimes anxiety or like self-criticism is just anxiety, right? Self-criticism, it comes from
Hmm.
anxiety, right? It doesn't come from
Right. Yeah,
depression
yeah, I'm with you on that.
or it doesn't come from like mania or some other psychological thing. So like I this is kind of something I like. I don't know, man. Like probably around 17 or 18, I just was like, I don't know, just like enough bad shit happens to people around you and yourself, and you just realize it's hard. It's really hard, but you just gotta not worry about shit you can't control. But it's like easier said than done. You know what I mean? But I do have insomnia. That's the one thing that I do have mentally kind of fucks me up. So maybe I'm just too
Musicians, I feel
tired.
like that it's hard for a musician, I feel like, not to have insomnia.
Musicians either have insomnia or they like sleep better than any better person I've ever seen in my life. There's like only two versions
Yeah,
of
I'm
it.
jealous of that shit.
I can't sleep. I can't nap. Some guys can just go take a nap. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Fuck that.
I don't know, man. But I just think that like self-critical shit is like you just gotta use it for. You just gotta realize when you're helping yourself and when you're just ruining your day. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Nick, I mean, I've learned a shit ton from talking to artists like yourself, doing these podcasts, done, a bunch of these, just like you have with
Uh huh.
Frasco. Curious,
Right
like,
on.
what would you say are some of the like common themes or lessons you may not have gotten to learn if you weren't co-hosting world saving podcasts? Like, what are some of the biggest takeaways you've had personally, just being like kind of in those rooms?
I used to think that success in music was a lot more based on luck than it is, which is kind of funny because people generally tend to think the other way. And I do think that like hard work does. I'm not saying that if you work hard, you will be successful, but I'm saying every successful person I've interviewed on Andy Frasco is hardworking. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
there's a lot of people that say they're hardworking that really working as aren't as hardworking as they say they are. You know what I'm saying by that? Like
For sure.
it's usually the people that aren't on social media posting about how hard they are working that are working the hardest because except for Frasco, he does both. He works really hard and posts about how hard he's working. He's an anomaly in that, but like his social media is part of his hard work. You know what I mean? He's like kind of the goat out of it, especially in the jam band scene. You know what I'm saying? But uh, yeah. So I would say like some things I've learned like just from interviewing successful people is they're really not any different than anyone else. I'm not talking about famous people. I'm talking about successful people, which could include famous people. But there's like a lot of successful songwriters that aren't household names that are still doing well. It's like yeah, sometimes they might have some kind of. I'm like, there's this whole thing with nepo babies right now. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody's obsessed with this concept, and I'm kind of like over it. It's like it's the worst in like acting, obviously, compared to music, because I do think with music, there's only so far you can get with looks. You can get pretty far with looks and acting. And like acting is basically like there's casting and acting. The general public has to kind of cast you with music more than movies. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like there's not really such thing as an industry plant in music. I think you can do that way more in acting because you can just have some guy be your dad's friend and put you in the movie, and like people don't really know anything about acting. There's like 20 good actors, right?
Yeah,
There's
right.
like there's like 20 great actors and like
They can get a
400 good ones.
first name
Yeah,
basis.
yeah. But in music, like I've seen it. I've seen rich people try to buy their way into success, and like it doesn't work because people still have to buy tickets. Like they can't just put you in the Netflix show. But I think I'd say the thing I learned the most just from interviewing successful people is like there's not as much luck out there as you. I mean, there is. Like there's no such like obviously like yeah, if you have a little money to work with, you're gonna go a little farther. But the people who are successful are definitely working the hardest. And like I know people don't want to hear that, but it's just kind of the truth.
Aside from hard work, what about like their orientation mentally? Whether that's like the
What do you
way a
oh
successful artist's brain works differently than most people. Like they've honed certain
yeah.
and then also certain ways of just approaching the world, their work. And kind of like you, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you have a unique kind of like deadpan charm that
Right,
like
right, right.
yeah, I'm just curious like outside of just work ethic. Like what
Well,
else have you taken away?
there's like different kinds, right? There's like the angst, there's like the mania guy. There's like I know guys that are like manic all the time and they're like always writing. Like Adam Deitch is always up to like 6 and 8. Whenever he's not on the road, he's up to like 5 in the morning, like writing music, like he's like a vampire. And then I'm not gonna like call any names on this, but I know guys that like are the most creative when they're depressed. So I think a lot of it is just like I don't think it's much different than like any other person except for it's just they're using music or whatever they do, their talent is to um not cope, like treat their whatever mental thing they have going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's like different versions of it. There's like depressed guy, there's maniac guy, then there's like sociopath, super normal guy that's like just trying to make a lot of money writing songs. There's like um the guy that's like super organized in type A, like that would be like not sociopath, like super organized type A, fucking could probably run like Corey Wong. Like Corey Wong could probably run a Fortune 500 company if he wanted or something. You know what I mean? I don't think his shit comes out of any kind of mental instability. I think he just is like a really driven guy who's really smart and happens to be like extremely talented. And he like figured out how to monetize it. And like a lot of people don't have that. You know what I'm saying? There's like creative guys that can't open their Venmo. You know what I'm saying? Like I know guys that can barely manage their finance. Like they're terrible with money. Like, and then I know guys that are great with money. And like sometimes the guys with money aren't as good at music, but they are still valuable to the band. You know what I mean? And it's kind of interesting. So I think it's just like a mix of different kinds of creativity, and they just kind of, it's like all about harnessing whatever's wrong with you into something good. I think channeling creativity is like uh sort of like it kind of, you have to strike while the iron's hot. So like if we're talking about writing, like, and I write all the trivia, you know what I mean? So I make shit all the time.
Yeah, so
It's
let's
just like
talk about you.
you kind of have to like strike while the iron's hot. You can't always force creativity. Like sometimes it's like gonna come to you at times of the day when you're not ready. But you also have to like try to write all the time, and sometimes you're not gonna be able to get anything out. But like if you're not trying all the time, it's not gonna come. You know what I'm saying? So like you have to like live with sometimes not making anything good.
One thing about you is I feel like you are like the opposite of try hard energy.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I feel that way, just surface level, but then it's
What do
like
you mean? What do you mean by that?
like you don't care what people think of you, you said, and I feel like you
I
give
mean,
off that
I
vibe.
do, like to a certain extent. I mean, you know what I
Well, you
mean.
give off a vibe that you're very comfortable
I'm comfortable
with
with
whatever they
people.
think of you.
I am, but I would rather people like me, and I think most people do like me. Like I'm not very divisive or anything, but I don't need people to like, I don't know. I don't need like 800 friends. I need like 6 friends. You know what I mean? But I mean, I would
I'm
rather
curious how
people
that
like.
non-try hard kind of demeanor that I reference. Maybe
I
I'm
think it's just
off
like, I
spot.
think
How that
it's
is with
no.
songwriting though.
Oh, because you got to write for yourself. Because if you don't write something you like, no one else is gonna like it. So like, it's important to make shit that you like for you, and it's actually a really good tool to not care what other people like. Like, I mean, like a lot of people fail in their career. Like a lot of bands will do this. They'll be like, kind of like those shit will be not popping anymore. So they'll like change their style to try to write what they think will fit what's going on right now, and it'll fuck them because they don't even like it. So you have to kind of like be confident in yourself and realize, well, if I don't like my shit, why would I expect someone else to like it? Why would I want someone to pay money to see me do something that I don't even like? But I wouldn't say I'm like overconfident either. But I wouldn't say that like I'm like I don't give a fuck. But like if you think I'm annoying or not funny, I'm like, yeah, you might be right. Like I'm not everybody's cup of tea either, because I'm kind of blunt. I don't act in a way where everyone's gonna like me. So like if someone doesn't like me, usually I'm like, well, I'm just not their flavor. You know what I mean? And like that's pretty normal. It's always, you know what I mean? It's kind of
Like
weird if everyone likes you. That's kind of boring, and you probably kind of suck.
I could imagine you writing lyrics being like, this is the dumbest shit ever. Why am I doing this?
I
Like,
yeah,
let
I
me
get
never
I
do this
cringe.
again.
I cringe myself out when if I have tried to write lyrics in the past, which is like kind of a bad thing. That's like my fault right there. It's because I'm like that a little bit. It makes me maybe not do as many things because I get cringed out by myself, and like other people get cringed. Other people like understand that you have to be cringe to be successful in the music industry. You have to promote yourself in a cringy way. You have to be vulnerable, I guess, if you want to use that word. Like I think like cringy, maybe even a little embarrassed. Like you're gonna have to embarrass yourself on some level if you want to be successful in the music industry now, especially as like a star, especially as like a personality, not just like a songwriter. Because you could be a songwriter and not play gigs. Like I have a buddy who makes a lot of money just like writing for other people in Nashville, but like so like you just have to like that's one thing that I would say I have the hardest time with. You just have to accept that you are gonna have to be like 25% of the people at least are gonna look at your shit and go, "What the fuck is this guy doing? This is what a nerd." You know what I mean? Or like this is cringy as fuck. But if you're cringing someone out, like that means you're actually doing something, which means someone's gonna like it. Like you don't want everyone to kind of like your shit because that means really they don't really give a fuck. And you want like a good ratio of people. Like that's why Goose is so successful. Like they have a good ratio of haters, and haters are like much easier to monetize than people. Not easier, but like they're better not monetized, but get engagement from. Like and engagement's kind of king on social media. So like you need the haters just as much as you need the people who love you to be successful in the music industry. And I don't think that's a new thing. Like people hated the Beatles, people hated, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like when
Yeah, yeah.
like the story now is like the Beatles are like a beloved, like fan, but like when they came over here, there's people who hate them because they had long hair and shit. Like I said, the cringe thing. But like, yeah, like 15% of the people in their 60s hated you, but every teenage girl loved them, so they're successful. And
Isn't
it's
there
like
like a
kind of like
cringe
that.
energy that you lean into?
Yeah, I think my trivia stuff's pretty dorky, but I'm just leaning into that now because I realize that maybe there's an audience for that.
So what's
And
the deal
honestly,
with the trivia?
it's just well, I do it every Monday at Yacht Club. I do a live show, and that's like popping off, and it's like
And a
packed every
live
week.
show?
It's try live trivia, not streamed. It's like
Wait,
in the
wait, you
bar,
say in a live show. Like
a live trivia show.
what makes it a trivia show, not competition?
It's a competition too, but it's also like entertaining. I play music. I like
You have your
riff. I
sax
joke
there?
around. No sax. I like DJ in between
Okay.
questions. I DJ in
Yacht
between
club?
questions. Yep, every Monday at 8, and it's like free. And I DJ in between every question. There's a lot of jokes. It's like a lot of my dry personality in it, and I write all the questions. It's not just like a dorky like geeks who drink
Sick.
thing. Yeah, yeah. That's doing really well, and I like wanted to do my own kind of like podcast thing too. And so I just decided to make it into a show. So the first one comes out on August 4th, and it's like 25-minute episodes of me like at a desk, like sort of Weekend Update style. And I have a green
Nice.
screen, and then I have
Bearded
a
Colin
narr.
Jost.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. And then I have like yeah, maybe a little, yeah, yeah, not as funny as them, but like, but a little darker, maybe. No, not even darker. And then I have my buddy Drew. You know Drew Birch? He's in this band
No.
Diestrada. He's in this band Diestrada. They're making an album with Flamingosas right now. They used to be called Recess.
Okay.
Anyway, he's doing all the video for it. We did it in front of a green screen, and it's like parts of it are on a camcorder. So like we put some thought into it video wise. I'm just gonna start putting those out. So yeah, that's probably gonna be the cringiest thing I do,
Shout out to Cringy Energy.
which means it'll probably be successful compared to the.
Odds are.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about being cringy. Um,
It's hard, but you have to do
what's
it.
your relationship to spirituality? You hate it? You love
Very.
it?
I have no relationship with it, but I'm not. I don't dislike it, but I'm not like. I'm not. I don't want to call myself like. What do you mean, like religion or like?
Yeah, not religion. Like
But religion,
your just own disposition to whatever higher power you think is out there or not.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, I just like don't think there's like a god per se, but like I'm pretty into just like we probably just die and it's like what it was like before we were born. Well, I would say like I'm not spiritual in like the timeline thing. Like I don't know about destiny, but maybe my whole life did happen on another timeline, like in a quantum physics kind of way. Because then
Like
you can
karma,
accidentally.
right? Like do you
I kind of believe in karma in this way. My karma thing is I don't think it's spiritual. I don't think like there's this like accountant in the sky counting your good things and giving you back things. All right. What I think karma is like when you are an asshole, you kind of carry it with you everywhere you go. And it's like an energy. And like, you can like just tell when a guy's a dickhead.
Mhm.
That's karma because like he's just like carrying his personality on his like on the outside of his skin. And like, I think karma is more of like a vibe than it is
Yeah.
like a force. So it's like it's karma to me is more like a vibe you put out rather than like something you get for like doing charity work. Because if karma didn't exist, dogs wouldn't, or like if karma existed like that, like dogs wouldn't get cancer. I think karma is like something you create. It's kind of like attractive. It's like kind of like being hot. It's not so much like just that they have a good body and face. It's like kind of how they carry themselves and like their confidence and shit. And I think
Right.
karma, if you're like a bad guy who like sort of like always looking to help yourself first, that it, people can tell. We have like we have other senses that aren't just like the five sense. You know what I mean? Like there's pheromones and shit that we don't know that we're like processing, and I think that bad people put that shit off. You ever just get a feeling about someone and you're right?
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
And then like and you're like the first one in your friend group. That's karma to me.
Okay. So as a musician, you must get into some interesting territories with mind reading, right? Like I'm someone who
Uh
believes
huh.
in shit like that.
I'm not saying it's mind reading doesn't exist, but I also think that's more just like you've just done it a million. It's like a basketball team. Like you just know the guy's going to cut to the hoop because you play basketball with him a bunch of times, and that's like kind of what you're supposed to do. Like there are some rules to
Just like
improvisation. Like
pattern recognition.
exactly, it's like kind of this pisses me off on jam band fans. Like kind of start to talk about music theory terms and they kind of don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they'll like talk about improvisation in a way where have you heard the term type two?
I've heard it. Yeah.
I don't know. Still, it's like kind of like when in their mind the band gets like way off the structure or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
like there's always still a structure. It's just like you just haven't done this 3 million times. And I don't know. I just kind of like think that like it's not like people always get on Humphreys. They act like they don't improvise, right? Which they do a ton. But people act like they don't because like it's still doing it type one over the song. But like that's kind of the point to me. And it's like they're not reading each other's minds. They've just been playing together for 25 years. And they also are just good musicians who understand like what their role should be at that moment. So like I'm sure like there are moments though where it's like so special and different. You're like, wait a second, maybe there is some magic in here. But a lot of it also is just like practice. It's like being a good wrestler. You kind of have to just like humans have certain patterns, you know, and like music has patterns. And that's why I kind of get mad when people like insinuate that like Humphreys doesn't improvise or because they don't get way off. Yeah, but they're also playing the song. I don't know. It's like kind of annoying.
How do you decide how do you define success for you at,
For me.
and on a day-to-day
Making
basis?
just making a living, putting a little money in the bank every month, doing what I like. I have low expectations. Like I'm not like one of those guys that like needs to be on the cover. That's why I'm a good co-host though.
Mm.
Andy like has Frasco is like a, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting to be that way either. Like that's good. We need people like that. Someone's got to be Cher. Someone's got to be like whoever Prince. Like someone's got to be in charge too. You know. But you also have to have people that aren't in charge. You can't have five. Like you can't have too many cooks in the chicken in the kitchen. So like Frasco like wants to be famous. You know what I'm saying? And it's
For
kind of
sure.
like it's respectable in a way the way he does it. Like he works really hard at it, so it's not annoying. Like he's not just like sitting around bitching and complaining that he's not famous. He's like actively trying to do it. But like I just don't want that. And I wouldn't get it anyway. I'm not like I don't think I'm like charismatic or talented or like good looking enough to even get that anyway. So like if you just have to kind of be self-aware and I realize my goal is to like make a good living doing shit I like to do.
Are you someone who works on yourself?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you
Like
know,
how?
well, I like to read, you know, I like I mean, I practice music a lot, you know. I don't know.
What's the best advice you're given in your life that you feel like you actually followed?
Okay, when I was like 28 and I was in Indy and I used to play at this club all the time called the Jazz Kitchen. And I was getting mentored a lot by this great sax player Rob Dixon, sitting with him all the time there, but I still like didn't know all like I still had a little language left to learn. And the owner of the bar actually pulled me aside one time. He's like, "You need to learn this, this, and this, and then you'll be a pro." And I went and did it that year. I learned all that shit. I like got it all together. And like he actually pulled me aside like 2 years later and told me I did a good job. And that's not really the point, is to say that you should learn the right things. The point is you should listen to people who know more than you. Okay. Take the advice of people that you only from people that you would like to be, or only take advice from people that you want advice from. If you don't like, because like a lot of people giving advice out there, it's like, why the fuck should I listen to you about anything? You know what I'm saying? But there are a few people out there that will. It's like the people you want advice from the most, you have to ask. But I'd say like the best advice is to not listen to all advice, but listen to the advice of people, especially if someone's older than you and doing what you want to do. Like, and if they make a point to give you advice, it means they like you. If they're being critical of you, that's actually a good thing.
For sure, they're
Like
sticking their neck
criticism,
out like it's like an inconvenience on their part.
well, it means they like you. If they didn't like you, they would just ignore you and let you die.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
For
all the
sure.
music, I had a bunch of older guys that were like really hard on me in my early 20s, like I was saying, like when I was sitting in, but it's because they liked me.
Maybe like your best friend, if I would have asked him like, yo, what should I ask Nick? He'd be like, yo, definitely ask him this, this, and that. Like he wouldn't stop talking.
Um, I like to talk about everything. I like to just talk, man. Um, what about well, I don't know.
Like what do you get most
What
annoying about other than jam band culture?
but I like jam band culture too. Like when I make fun of jam band culture, it's like the calls coming from inside the house. That's why it hits when I do it, because I am that guy too. like that post I made about band names. I don't know if you saw that recently. I made a post about jam band names, and like it kind of got a little. It did pretty well. I got a bunch of views and a bunch of comments, and like people were sort of like coming at me about it a little bit. So, mostly dudes under fake accounts, you know. And it's like, and my thing was like every jam band has a bad name because they all start when they're 18 and they never break up. You know what I'm saying? They start at frat
I
parties
saw
when
that
they're like on
post.
drugs. Okay. So like I've been thinking about band names a lot lately, and I kind of have this theory now that every band name after like 1992 is bad because all the good ones, you know, there's a few exceptions because all the good ones are taken,
What makes
and
a
also
band name bad subjectively to you, or
because they're not
objectively in
famous
general?
yet. That's what I'm getting at. Band names are only good because you like the band. Like Fish is a bad. If you saw Fish with a PH on like some bar Wednesday night free show at a pub, you'd be like, "What the fuck are these nerds doing?" But like because they're famous and they're great musicians, it makes the band name good. So I think that bands are good. Bands make the band name good. Like Dopapod, is that a good band name or a bad band name? I like it because it fits their music, but that's only because their music's good.
So if let's say we're starting to wrap up here, and from your limited vantage point, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
give some advice about living a life you can look back on and not hate.
Okay, you got to accept that not everything's going to go your way. Like, there's no such thing as like, if you want to be happy with your life, you have to accept that bad things are going to happen and you're not going to get everything you want. But if you get most of the things you want, you're doing better than like 99% of the people that have ever lived on the face of this earth. Like, most people, we didn't have air conditioning until like the 50s or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, central air is not that old. We've only had plumbing for like 100 years. Like, people used to die all the time of like the flu. So like you should like the president used to die of the flu. You know what I'm saying? And he had the best healthcare in the world. So like it's like important to realize that like the worst life, even with all the political shit going on right now, which is still like I hate when people say we're in the worst time, and we had a civil war, like we had World War II, we had, you know what I mean? Things have been worse. It's still really bad, and it's like more annoying than it is bad. You know what I'm saying? But like uh, what was I getting at? Oh yeah. So like no matter like even if you have like a average life in 2025, your life is better than 99.9% of the people that have ever lived. People used to like most babies used to die. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We like the average lifespan used to be like 35. It's not because like people die when they're 35, it's because you either live to be 70 or die when you were 2. And it's like it was an average, not a median. So like the thing is with that is like you have to just like realize that like even your worst day, and even now, if you live in America, like most people around the world, or even like a European good, Europe, like not America, but like any kind of good country, you know what I mean? Like there isn't like having a civil war right now or being, you know what I mean? If you live somewhere where you can be comfortable and like go to the doctor and eat every day, you're probably there's people on the earth that would like kill to be you. So you have to like accept that. Or you have to accept the bad things and realize that even like your bad day is better than almost all of humankind's best day.
Can't take shit for granted.
Don't take shit
Yeah.
for granted. It's like it's all
You
about
see Harry
perspective.
Potter, Dudley.
Is that the dorky kid that got hot at the end?
No, no, Dudley's his like half step brother at the beginning who gets
Oh,
all these
yeah.
presents.
The little bitch.
Yeah, and he hates his presents. He gets all these. I think people
Yeah.
have a little bit of that in them.
Yeah, for sure they do. And it's I mean there's nothing wrong with that. It's like it's human nature to be sad about your life, I guess. But I don't know. Most lives are pretty good
It's
if you
just how
live in
you
it.
view it.
If you
Yeah,
live in
I
the
mean,
fr-
we give meaning to it for sure. Like I talking about Dudley, I think of like a kid in like the third world who parents like clawed tooth and nail to get them one or two presents, and how much that it's just like beauty's in the eye of the
Yeah,
beholder.
exactly. And you're never gonna get all the things you want. Very few people get all the things they want, and the ones that do usually don't like it once they get there. A lot of people get famous and then they hate it, and then or you know what I mean.
This is Flowers on Stage.